Do you love waking up early in the morning, struggling to figure out what to do with your hair? We've all had our share of bad hair days. Are you ready for a change? Lock it and love it with Lock and Love Salon, conveniently located at 8117 Liberty Road, Windsor Mills, Maryland. Start your lock journey today. Lock and Love's professional services and artistic designs will keep you blazing in the hottest trends while maintaining and protecting your hair. Honey, Lock and Love is an experience. Once you try Lock and Love Salon, you won't try anyone else. Lock and Love offers starter and maintenance locks, fox locks, detox, shampooing and conditioning, lock treatment, lock extension, coloring, and much more. Sorry, but Lock and Love doesn't accept walk-ins. What are you waiting for? Call 410-970-3791 to set up your appointment today. Lock and Love is on Facebook, so remember to like, follow, and share. Trivia's Inspirational Radio would like to inform you that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the following show are solely the sentiments of the participants of the show. Trivia's Inspirational Radio Network is not responsible for content. As always, thanks for watching and
Hello. So this week we have a special guest and her name is Shania. Yes, I'm extra. So Shania, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yes. Hey everybody. First off, thank you, Shaunna, for having me on tonight. I am honored to be here. Not only is this amazing young lady a very, very close friend of mine, but she's also my cousin, and one of my favorite cousins. But I am Shania. I am a photographer, a singer, baker. I guess we could just say a jack of all trades. Um, Anything I do, I put my mind to it, and things take place from there. But I am definitely honored to be here tonight, and I can't wait to get into this discussion so we can have a good time and laugh a little bit. But yeah.
Well, I'm all about the laughs, so why not? But all right, so to get into this week's topic, it is ships, as in friendships, relationships, family ships, associates, things that mean a lot to you, but as you grow up, you realize kind of want to keep your distance a little bit. Some people might get mad at the answers that we will give, but gotta remember these are our true and honest answers. So to start it off, Miss Shania, we are gonna talk about family. Yep, gotta start with the hard one.
Okay.
So my first question for you is, do you think that respect is something that is earned or something that is learned?
I would say both.
Okay.
It's both because I feel like when you learn something, it sticks to you like glue. But then you have the opportunity as you get older or as you get into becoming yourself to give it before you can get it. And if you don't, first of all, if you don't respect yourself, how do you expect others to respect you? So, or if you and in certain cases, some people don't know how to respect or what respect is because their parents may not have known it, their family members may not have properly taught it, but they are in this mindset of they got to be the big dog in order to, be known or be seen, you know. So I think it's both. It's pros and cons to both of them.
Mm, okay. So my take on that. I mean, well, I'm gonna piggyback off of you a little bit. And the reason why I say that is because, you know, as you grow up, you're taught to respect your authorities, as in parents,
Mm,
teachers, anybody that is older than you in
mm.
any, and that's a big thing. That is true. But at what age do you say, okay, you have to earn respect in order to get respect? Because I'm not a kid anymore, and we can go blow for blow all day. So it's like, eh, I'm on the edge. I'm on the edge of that one. But okay,
I
so
would I would say I don't think it's really about an age thing though. I think it's more of a mentality thing
mm,
because when you learn boundaries,
mhm,
when you set boundaries, when establish boundaries, at that point in time, when them boundaries that you have established are disrespected or are violated, not necessarily go blow for blow, but at the moment, that's when you know that person is not good for you. If they can't respect the boundaries that you set in place, like for I would say, for example, us growing up, of course, we were told, you have to respect your elders and the ones older than you, but they never told us how to set boundaries with the ones older than us. So when we learn that, it's like you don't get the right to tell me. I'm gonna put this for example because this is one thing that I go through a lot. You don't get to tell me that I'm overweight and think I'm just gonna be okay with that. You know, I know I'm overweight. I know that I'm a little chunky, and it's this. I have an insider with the family, but I'll tell you that when we get off of here. But yeah, you don't get to tell me that you know a decision that I make based on for my life is not a good one. Now you can have your opinion about it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I have to. It has to be demanded that I respect that opinion because it's not your life to live.
yeah,
So
I,
honestly, in the decision, if I'm making a decision and you know it's not a good decision, or however, you have to allow me to go through that, but stand. But then you have the decision to stand behind me and correct me when I fall, or walk over me and just keep it moving. Either way, I have to respect your boundary of, hey, I told you so. Okay, you told me so. So now I made that bed, now I gotta sleep in it. Pretty much, you know. So I don't think it's an age limit at all. You could be 16 with a 50-year-old mindset. You can be 34 with a 20-year-old mindset. That's something I've learned quite recently, about people in general. It don't matter your age.
yeah.
You
I
know?
mean, that is true. I will say, especially recent, and it's not even really pertaining to family so much. It's just the outside world in general.
Mhm,
I've learned that, like you said, you can be 50 with a 12-year-old mindset.
mhm,
Why? Because of the things that you went through, or things you've experienced. Like, I don't know, you could have had something traumatic happen to you as a child, and as you grew up, it stuck with you.
mhm,
But now that you're 40, 50, however old, you're resorting to that childlike mindset to relieve some stress or relieve some of the anxiety and trauma that you're dealing with within yourself, but it's
mhm.
coming off as disrespectful to other people.
And
And
that's when you tell them you don't have the right. You don't have the right to what do something that I've learned in boundaries. Um, they don't have the right to project their issues on you, just as you don't have the right to project your issues on anybody else. So
yeah,
that's a boundary.
it is.
And when it's crossed, I know how to, get in my car, go home. I know how to mind my business, and I know
I,
how to mind my business.
I don't disagree with you. I completely agree. Like, and that's something that I've had to learn
Mm,
myself recently within, I'm gonna say, the past 5 years. Like, I will go to events and family events and stuff, and the first thing that to me seems disrespectful. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. I don't want to deal with this anymore.
mm,
But at the same time, it's like you never know when it'll be your last day or somebody's last day. So at the same time, I'm like, let me get this time in while I can.
mm-hmm.
But everybody has busy schedules, parents and big careers and stuff like that. So it's like, eh, my heart is playing tug of war because I want to build those relationships, but at the same time, I'm like, is it really worth it?
That's where boundaries come in.
Even with boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, do I want to continue having my boundaries disrespected, or do I want to say, you know what, screw it? The relationship we had was lovely when we had it, or
Mm-hmm.
I put up with it, but now it's like I don't think I want it anymore. I
Right.
don't think I want that negativity around me anymore. Um, so
I mean,
with
I agree, and I think in a certain time, you would have to. The biggest thing is examining your heart, but also examining the situation because, again, like your family come from. We come from a lot of comedians, I call them, a lot of jokers, and so they'll say things or they'll do things in a joking manner, but because again we are learning to break generational curses and learning to do things differently, we may not understand where they are coming from, um and so to us it could come off as we're being disrespected, or we're overreacted, but our reality, they're just doing what they're used to. They don't know the new side. They don't know the older version because they still see us as kids. They still see us as, you know, what they still see us as what you call it? To be seen, basically to be seen and not heard. They don't know that, hey, guys, I'm not for no more. I don't have to be buck and ignorant, but you can't say that to me. You can't do that to me. You can't, you know, but when we learn to have them proper conversations, um when we learn to have them proper conversations, it will all tell how, based off of how a person reacts to your feelings, because your feelings shouldn't be dismissed. Like, so if they react in a negative manner, then okay, hey, I'm washing my hands with this
yeah,
until you can get yourself together, because clearly it's not me. But we also have to take responsibility on the tip of, when we allow people to treat us any kind of way, that's our responsibility to take, because when we set respect and boundaries and different levels in our own lives, in our own minds, and our own hearts, a lot of things won't go the same way that it used to go you
yeah,
know
that is true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right, so that brings me to my next question as far as family is concerned. Do you think it's important for you to have a tighter bond with the family you created or the family you came from, and why?
Ah,
I know we just touched on that a little bit, but
yeah. um the family you created, because at the end of the day, people tend to switch up.
Hmm.
People gonna switch up regardless. Your family gonna switch up, but your immediate family, they gotta always come back. That's something that I tell my sisters all the time. Like nobody's gonna have your back like I'm gonna have your back. You're gonna have to come back no matter how many times you run away,
Of
how
course.
many times you get mad. I don't care how much you get mad. I don't care how much you don't want to talk to me. You still got to come back because I'm the oldest. Eh, I'm the oldest. Ain't nobody gonna love you like I love you. Ain't nobody gonna talk to you like I talk to you. Ain't nobody gonna have your back in situations that'll get you in trouble. Like I'm gonna have your back. So I definitely think in the sense of what I created, but also what my immediate family has created. You
Hmm.
know, I've personally been through situations like that where I've seen how I could be close to a family member, but then the immediate family member comes around and they change sides, switch up real quick. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. We rolling that way. Let me go ahead and make sure I build this family right here that got our back, that got my back. I got their back. And and it shouldn't be like that, but it's the reality of life. It's the reality of families. And so I definitely say build a bond, make that a priority, but also keep your ones that you have with your bigger family, like the outside, not outsiders, but the outside of not your immediate family.
Hmm.
You have your circle. It's levels to it. It's definitely levels to it. And so create that circle, create that safe space, around you, just in case your immediate family can't be there for you at the moment.
Mm.
you know
That was deep. that
Say something. Listen,
that that was deep.
I
Um,
got stories of days on that one, child. I'm trying to tell you, this year is a different year for me. It's a different ball game. And it's not about the age, but it's like when you get tired of going through the same cycles,
mhm.
it's only up to you to change it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm tired.
I don't blame you.
I'm tired. I
I'm
want something different.
going. All right. So, with being tired, going into the next topic of friends.
What's that?
Exactly. Um, but all right. So, my first question is, what are some non-negotiables that you have when it comes to friendships? Like, if y'all have secrets for each other, do you share that with your relationship, or do you keep it to yourself?
No, I keep it to myself. As long as the person's not trying to harm anybody or harm anybody else, it's
Mhm.
everything is to myself.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
All right. So for me, I would say some non-negotiables are secrets. That's a definite.
Mhm.
If I'm telling you something that I'm trusting you with, regardless of you being in a relationship or not, me knowing your partner or not, no, that that's a line we don't cross. Um, any fights we might have,
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you 2 days after the fight to get yourself together and realize where we both went wrong.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna come back together and we're gonna talk about it, because there is no way that you are gonna claim to be my friend, but we cannot make up at the end of the day.
Oh, baby, you ain't got 2 days with me.
Hey, I mean, now this is this is the new me. This is me now. You got 2 days. Me
You
before,
you
we
got a good 30 seconds. Go sit in the living room. Calm down. Come back. Come back. You ain't got no 2 days. And you know what can happen in 2 days?
hey, a lot can happen in 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. You ain't got 2 days. Mm-mm.
I mean, I'm just saying, like,
Go watch TV for a little bit. Then come back. Then we can talk about that.
something.
Yeah,
God,
I don't. I I I don't give, and this is just a personal thing. I don't give access to something that can be thrown in somebody's face later on. like I said, I've been in situations where I necessarily did not try to say anything, but it came out, and I knew what my intentions were, again, to help the person. But again, they turned back and it got back to them and they made it seem like it was something that it wasn't.
Mm.
So I am definitely very careful, very, very careful with the things that I share or anything. Like I said, if it's not involving you hurting yourself, hurting somebody else, then I 9 times out of 10, I'm not even really paying attention. But I'll remember it later on. I'm like, oh yeah, you did say that. But I didn't forgot that you said it about 5 minutes later. So I don't.
I don't know, because even with that is, and by that I mean, you know, sharing, feeling like you're sharing too much information, but at the same time, with the thought in the back of your mind, I can trust this person.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, yeah, I've learned my lesson with that. I had one too many incidents. You
mm-hmm,
know, first time, shame on me. Second time, shame on you.
mm-hmm.
I'm just a dumb fool. I got past three and still ain't learned my lesson. I
Haven't we all? Good job.
Child, that was something else. All right. So my next question with friendships, and this also going to tie into relationships and associates as well. Um,
Okay.
at what point do you say enough is enough and give up?
Far as relationships or friendships?
Both. Stop.
Well, personally, I can't say relationships because I ain't had one. um,
Go. Okay. So
sorry. But friendships,
every category.
okay, it's not a time limit
Hmm.
for me.
Okay.
Okay, it's a, I'm like a ticking time bomb, and so I tend to let a lot of things slide. Again, that was not knowing boundaries though, and when I learned boundaries, a lot of my relationships got affected because I had to set the boundaries with those who taught me the boundaries.
Mm.
Yeah. And when I had to use the boundaries that they taught me, they didn't like it.
Okay.
And I just had to be okay with it. But
Mm.
as far as friendships, I take a lot because I don't believe in giving up on people,
Hmm.
just at the drop of a dime. I do believe in second chances. I do believe in grace. I do believe in fairness. And if it's a little situation, I'm not just gonna be like, all right, I'm not talking to you, like we're not friends no more. It's had to have been something very major. Again, when it comes back to, if I say something to you that has been shared to you and only you, and it got back to the person or got back to somebody or got back to something about what I said,
Hmm.
well, when I'm one, I'm gonna stand on what I said because I said what I said, and I 9 times out of 10 I meant what I said. But if that, and it don't necessarily have to be about anybody, it could be about me. If I
Hmm.
shared that with you and it gets out, I can't trust you. Okay, that's one. That's number. That's just one situation though. So maybe take a little break. We not being friends right now, but we might can come back to this later on. Hopefully, you learned your lesson by the time the Lord bring us back together. But when it keeps continuing and again, it's a cycle and it's repetitive, or one thing I don't do is joke.
Eh,
I don't
yeah.
joke because a lot of times people be serious behind them jokes. But when I see that happening and everything's happening repetitively, years and years and years, and I'm like, all right, I'm feeling the same way. My spirit is off every time I come around you at this point. Or you
Hmm.
call me and all you talking about is, oh, I'm going through this and I'm going through that. Or when I'm going through something, you can't answer the phone. You can't be there for me, but you want me to be there for you. We
Child.
don't need to be friends.
Child.
I
Oh,
don't care too much about reciprocation, but if it's not even reciprocated a good 5%, I'm not a punching bag nor am I a trash can.
child.
You know, I,
Horrible.
I deserve some love and, com- um,
Yeah.
all that good stuff too.
Yeah.
Not a
That is.
trash can.
That's true.
Don't just come dump your stuff on me, and then I gotta be sitting here trying to figure out how I'm supposed to handle it. Cause now I'm crying, and now I'm an empath, so I feel all your emotions. Now we disconnected. That every time you going through something, I feel it before you even tell me, and I hate every bit of it. I ain't gonna lie to you, I do. Like I'm drained, I'm sleep. I can't even function on what I need to do because I'm too worried about what you're going through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't worried about not one lick of what I'm going through, and I'm over here suffering.
Yeah. I,
No.
I
Mm,
absolutely agree. Like,
mm,
and again, my podcast is about me being real and, sharing my personal experiences and everything.
mm,
And one one set of friends that I had since high school. I'm sure this is gonna get back to them, but I honestly don't care.
who
Um,
cares?
it is what it is. But I constantly was, like you said, that punching bag. I
Mm-hmm.
was that shoulder that they could call to lean on. And when it was my turn, all of my problems got pushed to the side for their problems.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, what's the point?
Did you just dismissed my whole situation for me to figure
Yeah.
out how to deal with?
Like
Mm-hmm.
we're on the phone to have a vent session.
Mm-hmm.
And that's us taking turns sharing our experiences and giving advice, not one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
Not, oh, every phone call you're sharing your problems and I'm giving you advice for you not to listen to it,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get mad at me when I'm telling you, hey, this roadblock is going to hit you at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and because you didn't listen it hit you, and now you're stuck. At what point do you say, okay, with this friendship, it's enough, or with that relationship, it's enough? Because nobody can tell you to give up but you.
Well, I pray about it first. I ain't gonna lie to you. I pray about it first.
I mean,
And,
even with praying or doing whatever you believe in, meditating, whatever it is that you do to calm yourself, to help you see different paths
mm-hmm.
of different outcomes,
Mm-hmm.
whatever you do to make yourself feel comfortable, okay, do that. But again, you cannot be mad at the other party when they say, okay, I'm done. I'm tired of listening. I'm tired of being your sponge when you need a shoulder to cry on,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't do the same in return. So, what am I here for besides being your sponge?
Well, for me, it's the well, what I do after I done told you what you did 50,000 times, and I done told you what I wasn't going to do 50,000 times, and it's still like,
And
still not telling me what I did. But I did tell you what I did. You just don't want to accept what you did. It ain't my fault, you know. And I ain't perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm sure. I'm sure it's been, the same for some people. But like I said, I am, as I've gotten older and I've started actually really having, like, my eyes have really been open to
mm,
people around me. I've noticed when, like, at a point where again, it's an intuition thing. Like, I can tell you, oh, I feel like I said a little bit too much, and really I didn't. But to me, it's like growing up being
mm.
told, oh, you talk too much, or you do this, or you do that. It makes you not want to talk at all.
All right,
You know.
I got a question in the comments. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
It says, do you feel that people, especially us black women, sometimes fear being vulnerable with each other?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And I say that only because I've only experienced. No, I can't say. I can't even say it's a race thing either. I can't even say it's like. I can't even say that because I've experienced having conversations with people. You all right?
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. What just happened? Um, I've had
Yeah, I'm
conversations
good.
with people of different race and
I'm good. I don't know. Go ahead.
um with people of different race, and I've like working in a hospital field especially. Like, you can't say,
Mm,
oh, I'll use this as an example. I've worked at a hospital recently doing photography for newborns, and Well, actually, it was two of them, but the one that I'm talking about, I had to quit it like 3 days after, um, because I it was a paper thrown at me
Mm.
of someone that was not my race, and so I had a problem with that because I'm like, it made me question like, am I being racially profiled right now? I've never at a job had to question that. So when she threw the paper, I didn't say nothing at first because I wanted to make sure I wasn't tripping. But then like she kept rolling her eyes at me, and then when I would ask questions, I'm new here, mind you. It was my first day there. And she just wouldn't answer the question. She kept walking away and all this other stuff. So I'm like, you're supposed to be a nurse and this is how you're acting? Okay, cool. So then I was talking to one of the other nurses that I had seen, prior,
Mm.
going there for training for I'm not for training for a meeting with my former supervisor. Um to I asked her, I said, she just threw this paper at me, and I didn't want to think of it that way, but this is how I feel, blah blah blah.
Mm.
But that got back to every nurse in that station. So now when it gets back to me, she walks up on me and I'm like, whoa, hold up. First off, back up. Don't walk up on me now. She's like, I didn't throw the paper at you. And I'm like, yes, you did. But okay. But to me, right then and there, I'm like, I know I can't trust nobody here.
Mm.
Because anything I tell y'all or how I feel about something, you could tell me something and I won't say nothing. But my business gonna be all around on this floor, you know? So no, I don't think it's just the for black women. It's hard to be vulnerable with anyone really these days, unless you have somewhat of a relationship established with them to where you feel safe with talking to them. But
Mm.
hard. It's hard in all aspects of life. It is.
I mean, and from my standpoint, I would say all around the board, just being a human being in general, it's
Mhm,
hard. You know, yeah, we deal, especially us as black people, we deal with a lot of, racial slurs and everything. We have the odds stacked against us, everything. We have a lot to deal with compared to every other race. But
mhm,
at the same time, you know, most of the things we deal with, we put each other through
mhm,
within our own race.
mhm,
We got black on black crime, white on white crime. We have black on white crime, white on black crime.
mhm,
Everybody is for themselves, but when we all find a topic or something that we can agree on,
mhm,
we agree to a certain level, and then that's when the battles start kicking in. It's, oh, I'm better than you in this sense, or
yeah.
you know you get paid more than I do and I've been here longer. And it's like, at what point do you say again, enough is enough? What
Mhm,
point do you say, I have a um oh wow, that I'm sorry, I definitely just lost my whole thought process because we have a comment that says, hello, ladies, great topic. This is an example of intercultural trauma.
mhm,
This That is where the trauma Olympics start. And
mhm,
it is because you have, this mindset growing up that one race is better than another, or you are given this perception that your race is better than another
mhm.
because of society standards.
Well,
And
actually, it starts out as unity as a child because you don't know nothing about race. Race is taught. Racism
yeah,
taught. It's a taught behavior. It's a learned behavior. You don't
hmm
come out the womb wanting to say, "Oh, I don't like this person because of their skin color." What? That don't even make sense. At the end of the day, it's a color.
yeah,
It's not. It's not a. It's you ain't getting paid for it. Now, some jobs I can probably say some do get paid a little bit more because of their. In all reality, they're afraid of the power that others carry.
yeah.
They're
I mean,
afraid that
yeah,
if they access the power, and this is one thing I teach my students
mm,
when I ask them this question quite often: what is it that you want to be when you get older? I've had when I first started with my students, back in September. I want to be a rapper. I've even had, let me tell you something. I've even had students tell me I want to be a thug.
Oh my good. No, you didn't. You
I
did
want
not.
I want to be a this, and I'm like, no, this is not what y'all supposed to be saying. What is this? September, October, November, December, January. What's this? March.
Yes, we're in March.
So about 8 months at this point. I
Mm-hmm.
now have. But they just had career day yesterday. I have seen addressed a major change, and when I asked them that question now, all because number one, I tried to teach them the things that they don't know, and number one, it starts with the number one responsibility, taking responsibility for your actions, setting boundaries, knowing what boundaries are, and things of that sort. I try to, sneak that little stuff in,
Mm-hmm.
um, with them, and now I have. Oh, I want to be an OBGYN. Oh, I want to be a nurse. My mom is a nurse. Oh, I still want to be a rapper, but I still want to do this on the side. I want to be an entrepreneur. So I've seen what a learned behavior could do.
Yeah. Yeah. All
You know,
right. So we have, well,
no,
not we. You have a question in the comments.
I got a question. Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
it's directed straight to you. Question is, how old are the children you teach?
They range from pre-K, I'm sorry, to seventh grade.
I didn't know that.
It's an after school program, so
Ah,
I have
okay.
I
Yeah,
have a
that
mix of all.
that makes
Yeah, but
okay.
yeah.
All right. All right. So next we are going to talk about relationships. And I know. You done said a million times you don't have a relationship, so you don't really want to answer these questions. What?
Never had.
It's just, I mean, all right. So you already answered one of the questions, but the other question that I have is, and I know this is going to, open up a lot of people's minds on how they are going to look at relationships from this point out. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But again, we are
Hit.
sharing our viewpoints on this and giving our opinions. So, my question is, when you're in a relationship, right?
Hmm.
What are some things that you're like, it stays? And it's, again, it's a non negotiable. It's either it stays or you go.
Respect,
Mm-hmm.
boundaries,
Mm-hmm.
stability.
Mm-hmm.
Um, First of all, if you ain't got God first, if God ain't first, well, it is foundation. I don't want you. I don't want it. Oh no, I'm joking.
Besides
I'm
that,
joking. Cause y'all know me, I'm a little church baby. So it's it. But that's how all relationships start, though. If you have a foundation, when the
mm-hmm.
foundation is set, the house can't fall. If your foundation ain't set properly, what you expect?
Yeah,
What you expect? And so, if I'm not led, if God ain't leading that relationship, then I'm not supposed to be in it. If your intentions aren't for if your intentions aren't to grow, if your intentions aren't to have a break generational curses, but start new not curses, but start
journeys.
new journeys, new routines, new ways of life. I
Mm-hmm.
to not being smart, but why waste time? Life is precious,
Yeah.
and we only have one. Why waste time for somebody that don't have generational goals? Legacy. The shirt says it all. I gotta start from this side. Sorry. Life, legacy, impact. Why would I force myself
Mm-hmm.
to sit in a relationship for 10 years that ain't growing?
Yeah.
Only thing I got to tell you is I got kids, and this is not for anybody. It's just the mindset that I have. I've I haven't been in a relationship, but I've talked to people that wanted to be with me, but wanted to be with me for the wrong reasons.
As in.
All they wanted from me was the, you know what, the little, the nasty, the nasty. They ain't want nothing else.
Yeah.
They
So
ain't want nothing
okay.
else.
So
So
I'm gonna stop you right there for a second. And
why waste?
that is
Exactly,
absolutely right. That is so true.
exactly. Why
That is
wait till you the gift of God? Someone who doesn't follow God, keep you exactly
yeah.
the
Uh,
foundation.
all right. So I'm gonna stop you right there for a quick second, and I'm gonna chime in because even I mean that honestly, keeping God first
And
ship
every
in any ship that you have, friendships, family, anybody that you want to hold close to you,
mm-hmm,
because they are or can be your biggest hater at the end of the day.
mm-hmm,
And again, firsthand experience. I've learned that, you know, when I went through my toughest time in 2015,
mm-hmm,
and, most people know about it, most people don't. But I almost lost my life.
mm-hmm,
And, I was told that while I was in a coma, I had family and friends surrounded.
mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. You know,
I was
I've
there.
seen I've seen people that I've lost or that was getting close to losing.
Mm-hmm,
I've seen them while I was in a coma.
mm-hmm,
And, I was told things like, it's okay, we're here for you, and
mm-hmm,
stuff like that. And when I woke up, I didn't see those same faces.
mm-hmm,
I seen different faces, but they were telling me the same thing. And it's like, most people who told me, I'll always be here for you. I'll be here along this roller coaster of learning how to walk and talk and, do daily activities all over again. They're no longer here.
mm-hmm,
And I'm not saying they're no longer here physically,
mm-hmm,
but mentally for me, they're no longer here. I disassociated myself with them for the simple reason of, you know, again, being that punching bag, that sponge, where I hit my lowest and I may be seeing them once or twice before I came home.
mm-hmm,
But after I came home, I no longer seen them. I no longer talked to them. And I gave it maybe a year or two before I started hearing from them again. But it's like, again, at what point do you say enough is enough? And I know a lot of people that was there and, that went through the roller coaster with me
mm-hmm,
is going to say that, I should have been giving up on them or I should have been let them go. But for me, being in that tough spot, nobody knows what I went through. Yeah, y'all seen me go through it,
mm-hmm,
but mentally, you
mm-hmm.
cannot tell another person how to deal with something.
Right.
And Miss Nikki, you are absolutely right.
Self-ship.
She said because people are in self ships, not relationships. And that is absolutely right. That is true. Um and even to today, like with most relationships I've seen, you know, you have that controlling spouse or that controlling partner who was like, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't wear this, you can't wear that. And it's like, how am I supposed to be me? How am I supposed to express myself if you keep shutting me down and keeping me locked in? What's up?
See, that's what we different at, right? That's
I'm
where
not saying it's me personally. I'm just saying
I
as
know,
an
but
example.
that's where a lot of people seem to. I guess it's different when you're in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
but as a single woman, as a single person, I don't think I never understood that you can't wear or you can't do this or however. But
Mm-hmm.
like I said, there's a level of respect. So if you're married, first of
Mm-hmm.
all, if I'm not married, you can't tell me what to wear, what not to wear. I'm sorry, you just can't. You don't have no, like you can't tell me. You can't tell me where I can't go. We are not married. You
Mhm.
just like you like a little you like the coat on the side of my shoulder right now. When the coat is on and it's tucked in the slot, then we can talk about you know. You can't tell me where I can't go. But it
Oh,
all
boy.
but it does it comes with building trust,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
it comes with building, you know, the relationship between you and that person. But if you out here and you at work, but you ain't come straight home, first of all, we don't live together. You definitely can't tell me what to do. You can't. You just can't. You just can't. You can't. You can't tell me I can't go to church because I'm gonna go to church. And but you can't force me to go nowhere either because baby, I'm gonna stay home. I don't care.
Hey.
You know. But I get what I definitely get what you're saying on a sense of that. Not even just relationships, but as you know, we have both been through some traumatic things that
Mhm.
should have took our life from the beginning. Um, and I, of course, it's a testimony for us.
Yeah.
Um, but in that time, like as your experience, yours is you've seen a lot of people walk away from you in the hospital.
Mhm.
That's not mine. Mine's was more so I was I was in a vulnerable stage, and when people couldn't get what they needed out of me no more, that's when they walked away. When I again had to set them boundaries, and I had to learn them boundaries and use it against them, not even against them, but use them that they didn't. No, Shania is not going to be able to show up for you.
Mhm.
I've had a person call me that I was very close to at one point,
Mhm.
and they would be in the hospital or they would be doing certain things. Mind you, they never call and check on me, never call and hey, how you doing? But they don't hesitate to call and say, hey, can you come do this for me? Can you come be in this? Can you come be here for me? But then
Bruh.
when I did not react the way that I would have reacted
Mhm.
6 months prior to that, a year
Mhm.
prior to that, all communication left. They were on there. I guess I don't know because I still don't know what happened to this day because I ain't asked no questions. And so I'm the type. I'm like, you come to me and you're like, oh, such and such, and I'm like, okay, I'm praying for you. Like I
Mhm.
really don't know what to say. I don't know how you expect me to react after I didn't already seen how you already acted. You know, and so I'm
Yeah.
like, you can't expect me to show up if you can't show up. You know.
That is true. That is true. And with that, it's like, it's a give and take. It's a give and take. Um
Way to take back the love. Wait, I can't. I have a line in my phone, so I
it
can't.
says, Naya, way to take back the power of self preservation.
Baby, you can't tell me what I can't wear. I'm I'm gonna wear crop top. I'm sorry. I don't wear crop top, but if I'm gonna
Purple.
wear it, I'm gonna wear it.
But no, in all seriousness though, for real, like
Yeah.
it's one thing if you're like, okay, I want to do this, I want to do that. What's your opinion on it? But for you to just say out of the blue, I'm going to do this, and in your mind you're expecting the person in response to say, hey, okay, you know what's the details, just in case I have to come pick you up, or it's past a certain time and you're still not home.
Mm-hmm.
What are the valuable information that I need, like where are you going to be, who are you going to be with,
Mm-hmm.
how are you getting there?
Mm-hmm.
That information, okay, fine. But if it's like,
Telling me I can't wear a
if,
crop top, that's not okay.
not even that, but if it's like I'm giving you 100% all
Mm-hmm.
the information you need beforehand,
Mm-hmm.
you should not be questioning me the date of.
Well,
Like
if you know me, you shouldn't be questioning me at all.
that
If
too.
you know
That
how I treat myself, you definitely shouldn't be questioning me.
Yeah, I
If you
mean,
ain't out here, I'm not out here being a hoe. So why you questioning where I'm going, when I'm going, how I'm going?
yeah.
Again, I'm not married, you know? So there shouldn't be, I get the safety questions, all that good stuff, making sure, I appreciate that. I honestly do genuinely appreciate the fact that you genuinely care
Mhm.
about my presence,
Mhm.
making sure that I'm safe. But trying to tell me where I'm going is not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Oh boy.
Now it's a difference because there's some people that genuinely care about you and will say,
Mhm.
I don't think this is a good idea. I'm gonna use my mama because my mama be right. You know how they always say mothers know best,
Yeah.
sometimes. But I gotta give it to my mama. Like she'll be like, I'll be like, Mama, I'm going here, or can I go here, whatever. I don't even know why I still ask. I'm like, I'm a little grown at this point, so she'd be like, why are you asking me? But then there's certain people or certain things she'll say, hey, I don't feel comfortable, or
Mhm.
when you get there and you feel like something off, call me. I'll be there. So when you have people like that, yeah, you get my utmost respect because you try to make sure I'm safe, or I'm trying to, or vice versa. She goes somewhere, she like, hey, I'm going with this person. You have my location, or even if I don't have her location, I know where she at. I wish somebody would try some of my.
Listen, man.
Listen, do you not
Listen.
know what kind of family we got?
I got. Let me
I'm
see.
just
I
saying.
have. Speaking of locations, and then this gonna be my last thing before we wrap up. Speaking of locations, I have my mother's,
Hmm.
one of my brothers, one of my nieces, and then three of my sisters'
Hmm.
location, and also my spouse. I have all their locations. They all have my locations along with my stepfather.
Hmm.
The minute something is off or they're not in their normal spot, like, my mother, for example, she be at random locations. Like, I don't know, she be at the mall half the time. I look at her
Hmm.
and I call her just to see what she gonna say. Yes, I do. Um, I call her just to see what she gonna say, knowing she not at the house and she at White Marsh.
Hmm.
It just get on her
That
nerves.
her secret location is crazy.
Like, I do the same thing with Raven and Jasmine,
Hmm.
and I'll call them and be like, "Hey, where you at?" And Raven be like, "How you know I'm not in the house? You asking too many questions. You didn't even answer my question."
You didn't even answer the question that I asked you before you said
Exactly,
and assume that I need
exactly,
out the house.
right. So it's like,
Guilty.
and no, mother, I do not be tracking y'all locations all day. Don't say that.
I
I
do
don't.
mine.
I don't be creeping.
I do mine.
Um, I'm just concerned. Okay.
See, I got my past and my first lady location, and so when they be like, I be like, where y'all at? I already know where y'all at, but you gonna lie to me and tell me you is not home? Cause one thing about me, I ain't calling. I'm popping up. I'm pop. Hey, how you doing? I see you.
Oh boy.
And for
But
some reason, all these old people over 40 that's stuck in their ways, that little meetup spot be. I'm gonna have to make a trip up White Marsh Mall because that's where they all be at. I'm confused. What's up White Marsh
every
that I
time,
don't know about?
listen, every time I turn around, my mother either out White Marsh, in the house, or just recently because we got a family member in the hospital.
Hmm.
She been at the hospital,
Well,
so
see, I know
I'll
where Auntie
randomly
be at.
call her to
Look.
check on her. But
I
I'm
know
just
where
saying,
Auntie be at. She be at our store, our Ollie's. That's our store right there. That's why she be our white boy. That's
that
our
lady be
store right
all over the place. But I don't do it just to be a creep. I do it out of love.
there. Mm-hmm.
With all the craziness that's going on in the world,
Mm-hmm.
it's nothing wrong with having family members check in on you. It's nothing wrong with having friends know where you're at that
Mm-hmm.
can get to you if something goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're calling, and or if they're calling you you're not answering, okay, well, maybe they sleep or at work or in class, they can't answer the phone,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just bad. You're not supposed to admit you be watching us too. That is crazy.
She
But
said she
um
need to go to Ollie's. Take me with you, Bookie.
but
Take me
no,
with
in all seriousness though, with all the craziness that's going on with people going missing, and it turns out that it's not somebody that they don't know half the time, but
you.
more so somebody that they know and that they've been in contact with.
Mm-hmm.
It gets you really to think about how sacred life is
Yeah.
and how serious things around you can happen. So, one thing I want to leave everybody with to think about is your safety plan. And by safety plan, I mean as far as who are the go to people that you can have. Oh boy, I
It's
would do that. I'm
it's
not even gonna lie. I would pop up on my mother if she's not answering the phone and I got her location. I would do that.
respectfully, I spend
Very
my last
respectful.
couple of dollars in my bank account to go make sure my mama good. I don't care what nobody say. Or if I got your
Definitely.
location, I see something up, I'm gonna spend my last couple of dollars to get that lift now. I'm do
Definitely.
it.
Definitely. But yeah, so one thing I want to leave everybody with, and for the last couple minutes once I'm done, Shania, you can again, promote your business as much as you want. But the two things I want everybody to start thinking about is your safety plan. And by safety plan, I mean besides 911
Mm-hmm.
or your siblings and spouses and your spouse, who can you call that for sure will
That,
show up for you?
mm.
That's the first thing. The second thing
Oh,
is
you said all three.
affirmation.
Uh,
um
three of them.
oh boy, not all three of your kids pop up. That is crazy. There is five of us and we won't pop up like that.
I can tell you. I can tell you right now that 11-year-old made everybody go. It be the youngest ones. Like they be stuck in their parents' hips. They be like,
It
"Come
do it.
on."
But
Ask me
yeah.
how.
So I don't want to know. I'm sure she did it to y'all before.
Zendaya.
But the other thing is write down some affirmations. I
Mhm,
meant to say this last week, but I forgot. Do some affirmations and stick them up somewhere around your bathroom, on your mirror, in your room, around your TV.
mhm.
And besides, popping up in the morning and looking at your phone, what are your affirmations? You don't have to share them with nobody. These are for you. They are for you to motivate yourself for the day. And, it don't have to be a long list, just about 2 to 5 at least. Do no more than 5. Do what you can handle. And work on your affirmations. I've learned just recently that they are a great way to start your day,
Mhm.
and they are, very helpful to remind yourself of where you're trying to go. So that's enough of me talking. Shania, where are you located? As in, where can people find your business? How do you want to be contacted
Mhm.
about getting pictures and stuff done?
Alrighty, alrighty, alrighty. Um, my business name is Soulful Shots. You can find me on Instagram at Soulful. So I'm gonna spell it out because of course I had to be a little difficult when I made the Instagram account. It's SOULFULSH0TS underscore photography on Instagram, or you can find me on Facebook at Shania Harris. It's Shaniya, not AH, not IYA. Okay. Um, Wait, it is IYA, not
Oh,
YIA. Sorry. um, on Facebook. And you could just inbox me. I will give you all of my details, my prices, and things of that sort. I do pretty much everything, um, from weddings to maternity to events, birthday shoots, family portraits, newborns. I just added newborn photography to my roster. Whoop, whoop. And I'm just looking to expand at this point. Um, I do have two studio locations that I use, but I have to book them, on time
mm,
of bookings. And other than that, I am pretty flexible. So you call me. Um, I'll leave my information with Shaunn. With I'm sorry, Shaunna. We're gonna get her out of there because she's not shy. She's very brave and very bold. Um, I'll send that information to her. Like I said, I also sing, so I do funerals, weddings, church services, all that good stuff. Um, so if again, just inbox me and I will get all of that information to you as soon as possible.
all right. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys next week. Have a good night and enjoy yourselves.
Trivia's Inspirational Radio would like to inform you that the views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the following show are solely the sentiments of the participants